Mood swings. We've all had mood swings. I mean, come on, as teenagers, going through puberty, mood swings are an integral part of growing up. But imagine those mood swings intensified, so much that you can't control them. Imagine them getting in the way of everything in your life. That is bipolar disorder. According to the Depression Bipolar Disorder Alliance, or the DBSA for short, 5.7 million adults all suffer from the illness, and I am one of them. Now, today we are going to be going over 3 separate points. We will be starting our high off of the description, symptoms, and the treatment for the disorder. Oops. We are going to go over the history of the illness after that. Next, we're going to swing on over to some misconceptions about the disease. All right, bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is a treatable illness marked by a change in mood, thoughts, energy, and behavior. Now, bipolar disorder is a kind of tricky disease because it has different symptoms based on what kind of mood a person's in. First, we'll be going over the symptoms of mania. Now, mania is like the high of bipolar disorder. It's when someone's really happy and when they're at the peak of their happiness. Now, mania can be described as personally, from what I personally experience, can be described as a state of heightened happiness, overconfidence, a decreased need for sleep, racing speech, racing thoughts, impulsiveness. These are all things that personally I go through with my mania. When I'm going through mania, I feel at the top of my game. I am extremely happy. I am extremely confident. I just feel like strutting right down the hallway. But the next part, and the part that's kind of the sad part of bipolar disorder, is the depression. From my personal experience, when I am at my highest high, that's right when I crash down low. The higher I feel, the lower I crash. A crash, the depressive crash, can be described as just a sudden decrease in energy, just sudden depression and crying spells out of nowhere. There is a increased chance of suicidal thoughts and actions. Now there is only one real treatment for bipolar disorder, and most therapists would recommend a mixture between medication and therapy. Medication is important because it helps you balance out the chemicals in your brain, but it's not all that you need. Talk therapy is very important as well because your feelings are valid even if you have bipolar disorder. Just your depression isn't just because of your disorder, although it can be. Next, we're going to talk about the history. Bipolar disorder was first described in the 1800s by Jean-Pierre Faure, and it was described as la folie circulaire, which roughly translates to circular insanity. Here is Jean-Pierre Faure. Kind of ugly, but that's all right. So he described it as a mix between schizophrenia, depression, but it was the first time that someone truly understood the illness and truly diagnosed someone with it. Now next, we have Emil Kraepelin. Now Emil Kraepelin is very important. In his Manic Depressive Insanity and Paranoia, published in 1921, it was the first time that someone recognized the disorder as not only added on to many other disorders. It was the first time that someone separately diagnosed bipolar disorder as just bipolar disorder. And because of this, they were able to make so many advancements in the treatment for it because they were finally able to fully understand what it actually was. And that was important. So many people call Emil Kraepelin the person who changed the face of the disorder and the person who truly helped innovate the treatment for it. Next, we're here to shatter some misconceptions. The first misconception that I have, and one that I face a lot, is someone's feelings are valid, even if they have the disorder. Just because you see someone who's down, someone who's depressed, someone who's angry, it doesn't exactly mean it's just because of their disorder. Healthline.com once described, someone's feelings are not invalidated because of their disorder. Just because someone may be described as, by his peers as an aggressive person, it doesn't invalidate the feelings they faces. And I really agree with this. Many people are quick to think that just because someone has their disorder, that is why they're acting out. That is why they're angry. That's why they're sad. There's no other reason. But you don't know. You never know what someone's facing in their lives. Someone can be breaking because of something that's going on in their personal life. Just because someone has this disorder doesn't mean that someone's feelings aren't because of a certain reason. Now, the next misconception that I'd like to shatter is that everyone with bipolar disorder is the same. They face the same, they're violent, they're crazy. I've once overheard someone saying, depression, anxiety, oh, that's fine. But people with bipolar disorder, now that's some real crazy. And so many people think that people with bipolar disorder are all angry, they're all violent, but not everyone's swings are like that. There are 4 different types of bipolar disorder, but truly it's different for everyone. But the 4 main types are bipolar 1, which is the most common, bipolar 2, which is like a lighter version, cytomania, which is an even lighter version of like bipolar 1, and then just indescribable bipolar disorder, one that doesn't follow a set pattern, someone whose swings are sporadic. Now that's the one that gets the most press, and that's the one that people are most quick to assume that everyone suffers by. But truly, bipolar disorder is something that is faced separately, something that is different for whoever faces it. All right. So today we went over 3 different types of bipolar disorder. Not 3 different types, 3 different points about it. We started our low at the definition, the symptoms, and the treatment. But we got on our high at the history, where we learned the diagnosis and the history of the disorder, where we learned who were the people who helped us revolutionize the treatments for it. And lastly, we hit our lowest points at the misconceptions, where we learned that not everyone who has this disorder is violent. Not everyone who has this disorder faces it the same. That everyone's feelings are valid. I hope that I was able to open your guys' eyes just a little bit more about this disorder. Thank you.